Hello everyone, welcome all. I'm Surbhi Sharma, currently working as an assistant professor at Ramesh Institute of Vocational and Technical Education, Greater Noida. This lecture is all about Industrial Pharmacy 1 BP 502T and today's topic is filling and sealing of ampoules, vial and infusions. So, let's talk about filling and sealing. Before moving on, first of all, we have to recall what is parenteral formulations. Parenteral formulations are those formulations that are intended to be transferred inside the systemic circulation, and obviously it need to be aseptic, it need to be produced aseptically, and of course it should be free from microorganism. So, for that filling and sealing plays a very vital role in production. Okay. So, let's talk about filling and sealing. What is filling and sealing? Filling of the parenteral solution is done with the help of liquid filling machine, right. So, this liquid filling machine is one of the major component in case of filling and sealing technique. Sealing is a key process in parenteral product manufacturing, especially ampoules. So, what are ampoules, what are vials, we are going to learn one by one in each and every slide. Okay. So, the one and the basic point we got to know is how the filling and sealing takes place. It takes place with the help of liquid filling machine. Okay. Then it is sealed by melting a portion of glass of a neck to form a tip seal with pull seal. Okay. So, there are two kind of sealing techniques. Number one is tip sealing and number two is pull seal. Okay. So, we are going to learn one by one what is all these, what are the kind of parenteral products that we are dealing with. Okay. So, we have for small volume parenterals, we have single dose containers. What are single dose containers? It means ampoules. Ampoules are considered as a single dose containers. Secondly, we have multi-dose containers that have multiple dosage. Examples, we have vials. Number third, we have pre-filled syringe. This syringe although contains all the pre-filled medicament that can be transferred to the particular patient. So, they are pre-filled. That is why the name is of course pre-filled. Another category we have large volume parenterals. Okay, so parenteral products are basically two, small volume parenterals and large volume parenterals. In small volume we have ampoules, vials and pre-filled syringe, and in the large volume parenterals we have glass bottles, PVC collapsible bags and semi-rigid polyethylene container. Okay, all these things are being covered in the parenteral products. We will read one by one what are these and how does it looks like. So, from the particular image you can see very clearly what is basically small volume parenteral techniques. So, what are small volume parenteral products? These are the products that have up to 100 ml of particular medicament inside it. Parenteral solution are up to 100 ml, that is why it is called as small volume parenterals. Okay. So, this one in this particular image you can see this is called as an ampoule. This particular first image is called as ampoule, it is an amber colored bottle. Okay, we are going to study one by one what are the basic techniques. Secondly, we have vials. Okay, this is a particular image you can see we have vials. We have a rubber sheath on the top of the vial. Okay, then we have pre-filled syringe. This is called as pre-filled syringe. What is basically pre-filled syringe? It is filled with particular medicament earlier. For example, this is a syringe of adenosine injection USP. Okay. And this one is also, it is 12 mg per 4 ml and is 6 mg per 4 ml. So, you can see very clearly what is pre-filled syringe. Okay. So, these are the three things that covers small volume parenterals, that is around up to 100 ml. Okay. Another category we have, that is a large volume parenterals. Large volume parenteral products, as from the name suggests, it has a large volume, it has more volume than that of small volume parenterals. So, number one we have PVC collapsible bags. These are the images you can see, this is called as PVC collapsible bags. You can clearly see inside in the hospitals also. So, another we have semi-rigid polyethylene container. So, it is a semi-rigid, it is obviously made up of artificially generated plastics. Okay. So, it has polyethylene container, this is how it is look like. So, we will discuss one by one what are these. Number one, we have ampoules. Ampoule is a parenteral product made entirely of glass and intended for a single dose use. Okay, it is basically what you have to remember, it is it is used for the single dose use. Okay, and it is entirely made up of glass. Okay, the image I have previously shown is basically the ampoule. they can be broken at the neck, restricted either by a scoring or by having a ceramic point, that is weak point meant for breaking a side. For example, we have an ampule. Ampule can be easily break by putting a pressure onto the weak point that is on the neck side of the particular ampules. You have seen in the hospital also, when you go to the hospital or the doctor is incorporating injection to you, administration of injection is taken place to you, you see that how the particular ampules is broken. It is broken when we put a pressure onto the neck. When we are putting the pressure onto the neck, it is of course breaking, that is a weak point of the particular ampule. The neck is a particular weak point, it is the breaking side. Okay, ampules has a breaking side, that is onto the neck. Okay. Another, what is the procedure, how it is getting filling. Filling takes place. Filling of a parental solution is done with the help of a liquid filling machine. On the first slide, I have told you what is how the filling takes place. It takes place by the means of liquid filling machine. Sealing is the key process in the parental product manufacturing, specially ampules. It is sealed by melting a portion of a glass of a neck to form a tip seal or a pull seal. What is tip seal and pull seal? We are going to learn it in a further PPT. So, what it is? Sealing is a key process in a parental product manufacturing, specially ampules. Okay. The heating with a high temperature gas oxygen flame must be even and carefully controlled by avoiding the gas restoration of the seal. So, what you have to understand, that heating is being provided here. Okay. Heating has been provided, which is at a very high temperature. Due to the high temperature, oxygen flame is all the provided, and which is making the ampules in that particular shape. Okay. So, there are two kind of a sealing technique we have, tip seal and pull seal. Okay, tip seal and pull seal. We are going to understand with the help of a diagram. First, understand what is a tip seal. Tip, from the name suggests, it has a tip or the top point. Okay, this is called as tip, right? Tip are made by melting sufficient glass at the tip of ampule's neck to form a bead of glass and close the opening. Okay, so you can see in this particular image, this is an example, clear example of a tip seal. In this you can see the point, the above point is completely blunt. It is not that much pointed. Okay, so tip seal is when we are working upon the tip, that is a blunt end. How we are going to do it? We are providing proper heat. When the heat is coming in contact with the glass is of course, that is our ampule, it is forming an opening, and when we are providing the heat, it is becoming blunt. Okay. Whereas in case of pull sealing are made by heating the neck of the rotating ampule below the tip. Okay. What we are going to do? We are providing the particular ampules and we are providing the heat to the particular ampule and then pulling. That is why the name is pull seal. Okay. We are pulling the tip away to form a small twisted capillary. Okay. This is how it looks like, this is how the process takes place. What we have, this is the example of pull seal. Okay. So, in this particular image you can clearly see you have your ampule, right, this is your ampule, okay, this is your heating element. So, what you are going to do, you are putting the particular, you are pulling both the ends. So, you can see the person is pulling, and at the end of the day we are getting a, this is how we are obtaining the pull seal technique, this is how we are obtaining the ampules considered from the pull seal technique. Okay. This is what the difference between pull seal and tip seal. In case of tip seal, we are providing sufficient heating power that our ampules are completely blunt in shape at the top of the particular tip. Whereas in case of pull seal, we are pulling the particular ampules in the two different direction. Okay, this is what your particular sealing technique is all about. So, sealing is basically excessive heating of air and gas in neck causes expansion against the glass and formation of fragile bubbles at the point of seal. So, what we are doing? We are providing the excessive heating of air and gases in the neck of ampule causes expansion against the glass, we are causing the expansion. Expansion means expanding the against the glass with the formation of a fragile bubbles at the point of seal. We are forming a fragile bubbles at the point of seal. This will help it to form the particular shape of the ampule, whether it can be with the help of pull seal, whether it can be with the help of our tip seal. Okay. Pull sealing that I told you right now. What is a pull sealing? Pull sealing is slower process and more reliable than tip sealing. Okay, it's a very slow process and it is very reliable. Mostly this pull sealing is being considered when we are particularly sealing the particular ampules. It is sometimes necessary to displace the air within the ampule above product to prevent the decomposition. What we are going to do, it is necessary to displace the air. The air we are getting after we are forming the particular ampules, that air need to be displaced enough. If the air is not getting displaced, it can result in decomposition of the particular product. So, that is why when we are forming the particular ailment, the particular ampules, these air bubbles need to be removed very well. Okay. So, for that we need to remove the particular air, else it can cause decomposition. So, in order to prevent the decomposition, we have to go forward with that particular procedure. This may be done by introducing a stream of inert gas. How the air bubble is getting removed? I told you air bubble is very much important in order to remove while we are making the ampules. If the air bubble is not removed, it can cause decomposition of the particular product that is inside the ampule. Fine. So, how we can remove it? We can remove it by providing the stream of inert gas like nitrogen and carbon dioxide during air filling the product. Okay. So, what we are going to do? We are providing inert gas, a stream of inert gas such as nitrogen, carbon dioxide, which is helpful for removing all the air bubbles inside it, air inside it. Okay. Immediately the ampule is sealed and sealing machine for vials. So, at the end of the particular slide, what we learned, basically what is sealing? Sealing is when we are providing excessive heating of air and gases in the neck, ampules, in the neck of the ampules, which provide the expansion against the glass and formation of a fragile bubbles at the point of seal. Okay. So, with the help of a pull sealing is a very slow process, as I told you. Secondly, it is very necessary to remove all the air particles when we are forming the particular ampules. We are sealing the ampules, we need to remove all the air particles. This is the most and very important phenomena, else if we are not removing the air particles completely, it can cause decomposition. That is what we have to understand this fact. Okay. So, how we are going to remove it? Number one, we can pass a stream of air of inert gas. What are the inert gas? Such as nitrogen or carbon dioxide. Why we are using inert gas? Because these gas, inert means that cannot affect the particular product. We do not want our product to get deteriorated by the means of any kind of gases that is being provided inside it, right. So, what we have to do? We have to just make sure that all the stream of gases we are passing through, it should be completely inert, and this gas is usually used for removing the particular air from the product. Okay. Immediately the ampule is sealed, sealing machine for the vials, and this is being used for sealing machine of the vials, right. What are vial? Basically this is how the image is looking like. This is vial, right. Vial is a glass or a plastic container closed with a rubber stop and sealed with the aluminum crimp. Okay. So, you can see in this particular image we have a rubber stop over here. This is the rubber stop. This material is made up of glass or plastic container. Okay. We have aluminum crimp also, which holds a particular rubber and the glass. Okay. So, this is what basically vial is. This is how it looks like. You have also seen in the hospital purposes also, right. Vial is a glass or a plastic container, as I told you. Vials are available for a single or multiple dosing. It can be majorly available for a single dosing also and also for the multiple dosing. Injection vials can be obtained in either neutral or soda glass and occasionally in treated soda glass sealing machine, filling machine. Okay. What is happening? Vials are available for a single or a multiple dose as per the use of particular patient demand. We are using the particular vials. Okay. So, it can be a single dose also, it can be a multiple dose also. So, this vial is majorly used and it is being made up of glass container which have aluminum crimp which holds a glass and the rubber stock. Okay, rubber stock we have at the top of the particular bottle, you can see. Okay. Sealing of vials, how the sealing of vials takes place. The vials filled aseptically should be closed and sealed immediately after filling of the solution. So, number one point we have to remember is it is filled aseptically. From the day one I have told you that aseptical removal is very much important, okay, because we want all the microorganism to be removed, because directly all your parental products is transferred inside the systemic circulation, alright. So, for that what we have to make sure that the particular product should be aseptically made. Okay, the vials filled aseptically should be closed and sealed immediately. It should be closed and sealed immediately after the filling of solution. When we are filling the particular solution, it need to be closed immediately, it need to be closed very fast. Okay. The sealing gives a proper closing of the vial. We are doing sealing so that it provides a proper sealing or the closing of the vial, so that the product should not move out and any of the contamination should not enter inside the particular product. Alright. The sealing activity can be confirmed by doing leak test for the sealed vials frequently. What is leak test? We are going to learn further. Okay. So, basically what we have to understand that sealing activity can be confirmed by doing leak testing and for the sealed vials frequently, because at the end of the day we do not want our product to spill out from the particular container. So, that is for what we have to make sure that all the particular product that is present inside the vials, it should be completely sealed. There should be no possibility of any rupturing or any moving out, spilling of the particular product. Sealing prevents the leakage of container during the transportation and shipping. This is the most important point why we are doing the sealing, because of course, when we are transferring our product from one place to another place, that is from transporting or shipping from one area to another area, it should be very important that the sealing should be done very appropriately, very properly, that all the products should not be leaked out. For that there are different and various tests. We are going to learn in the further classes what are the different tests that are included. Fine. So, in this image you can clearly see what are these are the some ampoules, example of ampoules, how they are looking like. Okay, we have Olefin 75 IM, that is delivered IM, alright. Then we have ondansetron 8 mg, this is also your ampoule of ondansetron. We have dicyclone, okay. Then we have Diprox. These are some examples, or you can also go to the market and find these very well. Okay, this is how it looks like. Infusion fluids, let us talk about infusion fluids also, because of course we are talking about large volume parentals and small volume parentals, alright. So, as I told you, parental products are those products that need to be administered inside the systemic circulation in a well manner. Fine. So, infusion fluids are administered by intravenous routes in order to prevent or treat certain electrolyte imbalances, right. You have seen in different hospitals that there are lots and lots of fluids that is being transferred to inside the patient. Why these kind of fluid are being transferred inside the patient? Basically it balances the electrolytes, okay. So, in order to maintain the electrolyte balances, these parental products are getting transferred. These are considered as large volume parentals that are being transferred inside the systemic circulation of the particular patient, right. So, in this image you can see we have NaCl 0.9% of a solution NaCl, lots and lots of stocks are there, fine. There are different concentration. Moreover, there is very important that your parental product should be free from all the microorganisms, that is why they are sealed very properly in proper chamber. Then you can see we have lingual nitrate solution, glucose solution, we have sodium chloride solution. All these solutions are majorly incorporated so that these products should be very much okay. Now, we have purpose of infusion fluid. What are the purpose? Why are we using these kind of infusion fluids in our particular chamber? First of all, to provide the patient with fluid when adequate fluid intake cannot be achieved throughout the oral route. Sometimes there are patients that cannot ingest or they cannot swallow, that cannot drink, they are just unconscious, they are just lying on the bed in the hospital, of course. So, for them this kind of infusion fluid that I told you previously, this one, the Ringer's latex solution, NaCl solution is being transferred inside the systemic circulation. Okay, so what is the advantage? Basically, those patients who are not conscious or they are not able to swallow, they are not able to take oral routes, for them these fluids are administered in an adequate fluid is administered. Okay. When the patient is unable to swallow, as I told you, patient is unable to swallow very properly, it cannot swallow, right. For them these kind of things can be transferred inside your systemic circulation very properly in order to provide the electrolyte balances, in order to provide proper nutrition, so that these especially for the unconscious patient, right. Okay. Third point is what we have, when it is undesirable for the patient to take fluids or food by mouth. Example, post-operative patients, those patients that are treated with post-operative patients after the operations, for them it is very undesirable for the patient to take fluid. They are not able to take fluid, they are not able to take the foods properly because of lack of unable to take their ingested fluid. So, for them these fluids are very much important, these intravenous fluid, NaCl, all these things are very much important in the particular phenomena. To keep the vein open for administration of drugs or when waiting for the blood transfusion. While waiting for the blood transfusion, okay, these fluids are very much important in order to maintain all the particular electrolytes, all the completing all the imbalances, okay, all the blood transfusion, administration of a drug or waiting for all these. To maintain and correct electrolytes of the body when the patient is losing fluid or salts in excess, like in Purkinje's diarrhea or vomiting. Some patients are going through any kind of Purkinje's diarrhea or vomiting, means all their electrolytes fluids are expelled out from the body unwantedly. So, for them, in order to maintain their nutrition value, all maintain their electrolyte balances, maintain their all the systems. So, for them these kind of a fluid are majorly provided. Okay. This is what about infusion fluids. Now, let us again come to sealing technique and procedures. Here I told you about the liquid filling machine. Okay. Let us revise. So, in this topic what we have covered is basically sealing. In the topic itself, sealing is a phenomena in which what we are going to do, we are just making, what we are going to do, we are just, it is a key process in parenteral products where we are sealing our parenteral product in a proper manner. It can be a pull seal, it can be a tip seal. This is how what we have covered. In tip seal what we learned, what that is a blunt end. In the top of the particular ampules you can see we have a blunt end, and in pull seal what we discovered, that we are pulling particular ampules like this and we are getting at the end the shape of the ampules. Okay. This is what the sealing is. Sealing is very important in our day to day particular manufacturing of parenteral products. Why? Because when sealing is not proper, it can spill out your particular formulation, it can cause deterioration of your particular drug. Okay. So, sealing is very important, heating is provided, as I told you, heating is very much provided. Moreover, air displacement is very much important, else the drug can decompose very easily, as I told you previously also. And how the air bubble is being removed? By the means of inert gas. We can provide a stream of inert gas. When we are providing the stream of inert gas, what are the inert gas? First of all, nitrogen and CO2 are considered as inert gas that are not interfering with your formulation, that are not interfering with your parenteral product. Okay. So, we can use inert gas in order to remove all the air bubbles, so that proper sealing should be takes place. This is a vial we have talked about. We talked about how the vial is being made. It is made up of glass, plastic containers, it has aluminum clamp, it has rubber stop on the top of it. Okay. So, this is what vials are available. Okay. So, this is what all about sealing technique. We have learned about the sealing of vials. These are some kind of examples that I told you about the ampules. We have infusion fluids and what the purpose we have learnt about it. Okay. Thank you so much.